Good morning, day 192, cooking down the freezer, refrigerator, and working pantry food. So today I'm going to have take it easy day, because yesterday I hung all those shelves, and going up and down a ladder really plays havoc with my back. So I'm going to do some things today that don't require too much physical activity, but I'm not just going to sit in the chair either. So I have some laundry to do. I want to do some cooking, thinking about making a meatloaf with plant-based meat. I still haven't dehydrated my mint, and I have some bananas that I want to freeze. So we finally got some rain yesterday, and when I let the dogs out, my whole deck smelled like mint. It was so nice. It was because I have all that mint planted. I showed you my mint a couple of videos ago, and the fragrance from the mint was just really, really nice. So think about planting mint if you want to keep the bugaboos away from your patio. I haven't seen too many mosquitoes, but I have to test that theory because I haven't been sitting out there that much yet. So I used to get citronella plants and put those on my patio, but those didn't do well because it's too shady. The mint seems to be a little bit more forgiving. It's not ideal because I'm sure it would like more sun, but it's doing okay. So I'm looking forward to this cup of coffee. So I have to get back to my purging. Now that I got my shelves hung up, I want to see how I'm going to rearrange some things, because once you change things in your house, you always have excess things that you have to find a new home for. And for me, it's my knives. I have a lot of knives, probably way too many, but I did order a knife rack from Amazon, and I'll show that to you when it comes today. And this way I can get my knives out of the drawer I have them in and put my measuring cups and spoons in there instead. So, but I'm not going to do that today. That's a project for another day. Or I might, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not sure what I'm having for breakfast this morning. I have a lot of hard rolls that I want to eat up, and they're actually one of my favorite breakfast foods. So I'll probably do something with those, but we'll take a look in the refrigerator in a little bit. But right now I'm going to enjoy my coffee. All right, see you in a little while for breakfast, day 192. All right, let's see what's for brunch, day 192. So I've started to set up my other shelving unit. I don't know yet quite what I want to do, so I'm just going to have a simple brunch. So I already got out one of my hard rolls, and I think I'm just going to have some cheese on a hard roll. And I do want to make a meatloaf for dinner, so I'm going to get that out and mix that up too for later. And I have some pasta here too that I cooked, and I think I want to make that into a pasta salad for later on to go with my meatloaf. All right, so that is what I'm going to have for brunch today. I already have a roll toasting, and I will meet you at the stove. So I have here a very, very simple breakfast. I just made this hard roll in my toaster oven because I use my toaster oven for everything. Unless we have family gatherings, then I use my big oven. But I save a lot of money not heating up my big oven all the time. And especially in the summer, it gets hot and I don't need to have the air conditioner work harder because I have the oven going. So that works for me. And I've had a toaster oven for years. And if something happened to this one, I would definitely go buy another one. I think that's well worth the investment. So I'm just putting a little butter on my bread. And I'm just going to have a couple of these cheese slices. And a fresh cup of coffee. And that is going to be my breakfast today, and I like simple breakfasts. I don't always want to cook for breakfast, but I am going to make some dinner already. But I'm going to eat this first, have my coffee, and then I'll be back and we'll mix up my meatloaf. Well, I ate my roll with my cheese, and I'm still hungry. So I'm going to have some of the yogurt that I got during my last haul, and it is really, really thick now because I kept pouring off the water. So in here I have a couple of packets of sweetener, some vanilla, and some cinnamon, and I'm just going to flavor my yogurt with that. So as you can see how thick this is. It's every bit as thick as Greek yogurt, and this is how I like it. So, okay, I should save some of this and make some yogurt, and I might do that. We'll see, because I'm really busy now. Now I'm sort of redoing the kitchen. I did the shelving the other day, and now today I'm kind of working on the other shelving units that I want to put up, and at least getting an idea of how I want to set it up. And when you're restyling something, I mean, I'm not buying a whole lot of new things. The shelving I've actually had for a couple months anyway, longer than that, probably 3 or 4 months, and just never did anything with it. Same with the brackets, but you know, it's a waste of money if you buy all these things and put them in a pile somewhere. So I'm trying to use things up that I already have, and I'm restyling things, moving things from this room to that room. I used to love that show, I think it was called Design on a Dime, where they redid a room and they only used what the homeowner already had. I don't know why they don't have more shows like that. Now everything is high-end this and high-end that, and it's just really kind of boring. So anyway, I like the creative shows, and I thought that show was very creative. I think it's still on YouTube. I may go back and watch some of that, and maybe I'll get some inspiration. Alright, so as usual, I'm going to add some grapes, because these need to be eaten up. And that will be my breakfast. Day 192. Alright, I'll be back with my next meal after I eat this meal. Another meal. So I found this, I don't have any more Gerard's Italian or champagne dressing, so, and I'm not going to the store. So I had this stuff that I mixed up the other day. I don't even remember for what. And I stuck it in my little blender here to homogenize it. So I'm going to put this on my pasta salad, and the rest of it I can use. It almost looks like a mustard kind of dressing. So I'm thinking that's what it was. But I'm going to put this into my pasta to make a pasta salad. All right. There we go. So I want to use that up, and I have a small onion here that I'm going to cut up for the pasta salad and also for my little meatloaf. And I have a little pan that I'm going to make my meatloaf in because I don't want meatloaf for a week. For 2 or 3 meals, that's good. So okay, I'm going to chop up this onion and I'll be back. Alright, so I chopped up the half of the onion, and I like it chopped fine for something like this. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this dressing. Not too much, I don't want it to swim in it, but the pasta will absorb some of the dressing. And then I have dill relish. So I love to use dill relish. I don't have to chop up the pickles that way. So I always try and keep this on hand. Makes life easy peasy. And you can use sweet pickle relish too, if you like a sweet pasta salad. But I like the dill taste. So I'm going to taste this and see if it needs anything else. It might need some salt and pepper. But I did salt the noodles. Nope, I think that's good. Oh, a leaf blew by. This does, so this is fairly tart, so I'm just going to add a little bit of sugar to it. Not much. I don't want it sweet, but I do want it to counteract the vinegary taste. So I'm going to call that good. Doesn't need salt or anything like that. Doesn't need pepper. Give it one more taste. That's better. So, I'm sure you already know this, but if you add too much vinegar to something and it's too tart for your taste, counterbalance it with sugar. So this is going back in the fridge. Oh, I know what I wanted to put on here, some onion powder. There we go. All right. I do like onions. If you don't like onions, leave them out. You can add peppers to this, celery, carrots, whatever you want. But I'm just going to leave it plain today. Okay, into the fridge. All right, on to the meatloaf. Okay, I'm having my afternoon coffee break while I'm doing this. Cheers. All right, first I'm going to make the meatloaf. So I have some homemade seasoned breadcrumbs, but there's no salt in here. It's just really fine ground up bread, stale bread. And I'm going to put maybe, a quarter of a cup in, because I'm not making all these meat. So I'm also going to add some quick oats. Oh, about a 1/4 cup of that. Okay, I'm going to save the rest for another dish I want to make. And then I'm going to add the grounds. Like I said, this is from Aldi's. Trying to see how much protein this has. 17 grams of protein, 280 calories for 100 gram serving. So this package is 3.5 servings. So, like I said, this is not my favorite meat alternative, but I have it and I'm going to use it up. So, what are you guys cooking lately? Let me know in the comments below what's cooking in your kitchen. Or if you don't cook and you think this is totally boring, you can let me know that too. But I like to cook. First of all, I have to eat, and secondly, it's a good hobby. Something else I have, I think this was from Aldi's too, this onion soup. And I have an open package here already. So I'm going to put some of that in. So, I don't know, 1/4 of the package for the little bit that I'm making. And I'm going to do, about 2/3 of this for the meatloaf. Yeah, the texture on this isn't anywhere near what like the Beyond Meat or the Impossible Meat is. But that's okay. We'll make it good. So like I've always said, if you buy something and you're not crazy about it, see if adding some other ingredients to it will make you a little happier. Alright, and then last I'm going to add 1 egg. If you're vegan and you don't eat eggs, then add a flax egg. And this will act as the binder. Alright. So I'm just going to mix this up and make it into a loaf. And I'll be back once I get it all mixed up. Alright, I also decided, I bought some of this down in Amish country last fall. It's roasted garlic mustard. It's not my favorite on a sandwich or anything like that. It's on the sweet side. So I'm going to add a little bit of mustard to the meatloaf. About a teaspoon. And then I'm also going to add a good blob of ketchup. So in goes the blob. And that's about 2 teaspoons maybe. Now you can mix this together and put it on top of the meatloaf too, which I think I might do. That would be tasty. But for now, I'm just going to mix this up and then I'm going to get it in the pan. And hopefully this has enough moisture in it because of the oatmeal. But I think it'll be just fine. I want it a little bit firmer meatloaf. I don't want it too soft. So I think that'll be good. I'm going to bake this in the oven at 350 50. I don't know for how long. I never know how long. I just try it and see if it's done, but I would think probably about 45 minutes. But I just keep an eye on it and see when I think it's done, and then you can always put a meat thermometer in. Because even some of these vegetarian meats have a recommendation as to the temperature to cook them to. All right, I think that'll be good. That's one thing I like about meatloaf. You could put almost anything in it, and it's almost always good. So I'm just going to form this into a little loaf. And as you can see, it just makes a little tiny meatloaf, which is exactly what I wanted. And then this will be good cold for a sandwich, or you can eat it hot with some gravy, however you want to eat it. All right, I am going to mix some of this as a topping, but I'm going to bake this for a while first, and I'll put this on when it's almost done, just to put like a glaze on it. All right, I'll be back with recipe number 2 in a minute. So my meatloaf has been baking for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to make some glaze now. And I'm going to take, a good heaping teaspoon of this roasted garlic mustard. And a little bit more ketchup. So about a tablespoon of ketchup. And that's it, a very simple glaze for my meatloaf. Taste it. Very flavorful, but I think I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar to it. Oh, about half a teaspoon. Now you can add a little heat to this if you want. Put some Frank's, Tony's Sacheries, anything like that. But that's good. I'm going to put a little pepper in. All right. And now I'm just going to put this over my meatloaf, and I've been baking it at 375. I may need to turn that down. That's the hardest part about deciding how to cook something, is the temperature and the length. But I am going to add this the other third of the grounds, and I'm just going to break it up a little bit. And I'm also going to add some oatmeal to this, but I'm going to make it different than the meatloaf, because this is going to be hopefully sausage patties. All right, so I'm going to put, there's not much there, so I'm going to put like 3 tablespoons of oatmeal. Yeah, maybe maybe 4 tablespoons of oatmeal, because this is hopefully going to be like a breakfast sausage. And then I put together this sausage seasoning, and it's a real lengthy list of ingredients, and I haven't really tried it, so if it's any good at some point I'll let you know what I put in there. So I'm going to put about a good teaspoon of that in there. And then I'm going to mix this up and see if it needs any salt and pepper. I'm not sure. Alright, so let me get this mixed up and I'll be back. Alright, I gave this a little taste. Now you don't want to eat too much of this because you want to cook it. And I'm going to add 1 more teaspoon of this sausage seasoning. I didn't feel like it was enough. And then I'm going to have to add some sort of moisture to this. Either a little bit of water, or an egg, or maybe some milk, plant-based milk. So I'll be back. All right. I'm going to add some additional onion powder. About half a teaspoon, depends on how oniony you like it. And I'm also going to add more of this garlic. Again, to taste. And then I have a tiny bit of this breakfast blend. And I'm going to start out with half of it, because I don't feel this is salty enough for sausage, because sausage is salty. So I'm going to add that. And mix that up. I don't know, to me cooking is always an experiment. I like to come up with my own recipes. Do you guys do that? Do you make your own recipes? Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're really good, and every once in a while they're, not so much. Let me just taste a little bit of this. Alright, that's pretty good. Could use a little bit more of this, not too much. Maybe another 1/4 teaspoon. Alright, I think the seasoning is good. Now if you like some heat in your sausage, go right ahead and put in some sort of heat. Frank's, Tony's, whatever you like. You could add red pepper flakes to this if you like. You can add cayenne pepper. Those would all be good choices. I like a milder sausage flavor, so I won't be adding any of those. But this definitely needs something liquid. Okay, my liquid is going to be water and a teaspoon or 2 of soy sauce, depending on how salty you like it. And add just a little bit of this at a time. You don't want to end up with soup. But you want to make it so that it just starts to stick together. And then I'm going to let this hydrate in the refrigerator for, half an hour to an hour. just to plump up the oats. And then I'm going to make some burger patties out of it. Okay, so this is about the consistency you want. And the oatmeal should act as a binder, but it just sticks together. So that's about the consistency you want. And I didn't use all of this. I used like maybe 2/3 of it. So that should be good. And that'll go into the refrigerator for a little bit. And if I feel like it needs more hydration, I'll add a little more, but I don't think it will. And then I'm going to turn this into breakfast sausage patties. All right, my meatloaf is almost done. I put it in for another 15 minutes, so far it's 375 for 45 minutes, and then I'll see if it's done. All right, I will be back later and show you what's for dinner. Okay, meatloaf is done. I checked it. It's up to about 170 degrees in there, so that should be just right. So I will taste it later when it's time for dinner, which will be in about an hour or two. All right, I will be back. My kitchen redo, now that I put up all those cabinets, I need to do something different with the knives I have. So I ordered from Amazon this Zazazo design, and I think it was $29 something, but it's a knife board and it's really pretty, really nice pieces of wood. And has screws. And okay, let's see. Now this is magnetic. It's heavy. It's heavy. So it's got a spot, I guess it goes like this. And there's lots of these on Amazon. Some of them are very expensive, but this one wasn't. The price was right. So this goes in here, and I guess you screw it in somewhere. But it's really a nice wood. So anyway, this is how your knife sticks on there. And you can get a lot of knives on both sides. And then I guess to get the knife off, you don't just pull it, you sort of turn it and then you pull it out. So this is really, really nice. I like when I order things and they actually work. So there's what it looks like. So I could get probably, depending on the size, at least a dozen knives on both sides. And then this one has a hole for, I don't know what you call it, the thing you sharpen your knives with. But I'm really liking this. All right, just wanted to show you what I got for my kitchen to help organize it. So it's easy to put together. I love this little drill screwdriver. It does such a nice job. I've had it a long time. It's called a smart driver, and I used it to hang up my shelves too. So all right, hopefully this will work out and I can get all my knives out of the drawer. And onto here. I got this all set up. It's 2 rows of knives, one on the back, one in the front. I just stuck this little one here. This thing is awesome. I never knew something like this existed, but it takes up very little space. It's 12 by 9 and it holds a lot of knives. So, yep, that's a winner. And I don't know what to do about all this stuff. I need to get some sort of a screen. But anyway, yeah, I really, really like this. It's helping my kitchen stay organized, and that's what it's all about. All right, it's dinner time. Day 192. So my meatloaf is out there on the counter, cooling off. And I'm going to have some pasta salad with it. I really got to do something with that mint. And I think I'll have a little bit of salad with it. So I have some salad. And I have some tomato to go in the salad. And I think I'll have some ranch dressing with it. Okay. So that's it for now. I will meet you at the stove. Right, I have a little bit of romaine here. I'm going to put this tomato over it, and this was tomato I put tahini on. So I'm going to put all that tomato on there. And this time I'm going to use some Follow Your Heart feta crumbles, and that's what they look like. And compared to the Aldi's ones, I like these the best. So a little bit of feta crumbles on there. And then I decided I'm going to add a little bit of this Parmesan Romano to my pasta salad, just to give it some more flavor. I don't know, a couple teaspoons, I guess. And I'm not going to eat all this pasta salad, so I'm just going to have some of that. And then the rest for another meal. And then I'm going to have a couple of pieces of my meatloaf. Now I did taste this, and it tastes fine. I think I'd like it on a sandwich. But for now, I'm just going to eat it plain. And this is what it looks like. So I'm going to have a couple pieces of that. And you can put barbecue sauce on it or whatever you like. But I think I might just put, I have a teeny tiny bit of the sauce left that I made, just the end piece of it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on here. And that's it. A little bit of ranch dressing on my salad. Salt and pepper first. Some salt, some pepper. Get some pepper on here too. And a little ranch dressing on my salad. Alright, I can put a little ranch on here too. And you could even put a little ranch on your meatloaf. Alright. There it is. Dinner. Day 192. So I'm going to enjoy this. Let me taste the meatloaf. Looks like meatloaf, doesn't it? This would be really good cold with a little mayo or mayo mustard on a roll. Let me try the pasta salad. So this is a great summer meal. Not a whole lot of cooking involved. And that's it. All right, my friends. That's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.